Perfect thumbs up main apki liye pori file rewrite kar deta hun alag wording ke sath kahani ki tara our sath hai har important scene ka picture prompt bi bana dunga. Story lambi hai is liye main eyes rewritten narrative our scene wise prompts dono parts mine arrange karunga. Memo rewritten story. It was just before 2 a.m. on September 13, 2023, when Officer Alex Reish received a late-night call from dispatch. The task: conduct a wellness check at the home of 62-year-old Norma Caraker. Her son, Neil Howard, had dialed 911, his voice panicked as he explained that after returning from a date, his mother was lying unresponsive. Neil told the dispatcher that he lived in the basement, and while tidying up the kitchen earlier, he had heard his mother return with a man. Soon after, the music upstairs blared loudly, and then silence. A dog whined behind the bedroom door, but Neil admitted he was too afraid to open it. When officers arrived, they found Neil intoxicated, distraught, and rambling about his mom's dating life. What awaited them inside would confirm his worst fears. Norma was discovered on her bed, bleeding from the mouth, a bungee cord tightened around her neck. Police immediately began CPR while calling for backup. Neil was placed in a patrol car as officers tried to piece together what had happened. Had an intruder fled through the back door, as Neil claimed? Or was Neil himself involved? Neighbors soon painted a picture of dysfunction in the Caraker home. Norma, a widow of Troy's former mayor, had struggled with heavy drinking and complicated relationships. Neil, 46, was known around the community for erratic behavior, substance abuse, and brushes with the law. Some neighbors described him mowing the lawn in women's nightgowns or stumbling around intoxicated. To many, he was a familiar yet troubling figure. Detectives questioned Neil at the station. He had scratches on his hands, a cut lip, and a scrape on his forehead. Though drunk, he gave a timeline. Norma had called him after work at the Lucky Rooster pub, asking him to clean the kitchen because she was bringing someone home. Security cameras later confirmed she left work, drove home, and then went out again with a man named James Carter, whom she had met online. They drank together at a bar, appeared affectionate, and returned to Norma's house around 10:30 p.m. By 11:03, traffic cameras showed James's car leaving the area. Norma was alive after that, meaning whatever happened occurred much later. Inside the house, investigators found signs that corroborated Neil's claims: clothes shoved into the laundry room, vodka mixed with Kool-Aid in the basement, and earplugs on his nightstand. But there was also damning evidence: blood on the bungee cord, a fingernail torn off during a struggle, and surgical gloves stained and discarded in the basement trash. Family members revealed darker history. Neil had once been implicated in his father's death in Texas in 2005. Though deemed self-defense, whispers of violence had followed him. His relationship with Norma was toxic. She often complained about his drinking, drug use, and volatility. He relied on her financially, and arguments about money were common. Investigators weighed possibilities. Did James Carter kill Norma before leaving? Evidence cleared him. DNA on her was explained by consensual intimacy, and cameras proved his alibi. That left Neil, the man in the basement, as the prime suspect. Almost 2 years later, Neil stood trial for his mother's murder. The jury deliberated only 3 hours before finding him guilty. Prosecutors sought 45 years, but Judge Amy Mayer sentenced him to 30 years in prison without parole. He would be 76 before seeing freedom again. Norma Caraker, remembered as a devoted mother and grandmother, left behind a grieving family and a shaken community in Troy, Illinois.